All right, we go. All right, welcome everybody. What's happening, everybody? Czaleo Knows It All, episode 29. Back at it, right in the place to be, in the building, live at the TGN Studios, the Good News Network, TGN Latinx, with my bro, Matty Boy, here today.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
I love you, dog. I'm glad you're here, dog.
I love you too, brother.
I got our other brother, Hank, right here. Our brother from another mother. What's happening, Hank? How you doing today, big dog?
Going good, man. It's going good, man. What's going on, man?
I'm great, dog. I'm pumped, man. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff going on in this world, man, that we're going to catch up, recap on. I feel like it's been a while, man. I feel like the weeks go by slow, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're going to get live at the very least today, man. So bear with us. We're going to, get all our ideas out as best as we can. Like I said, so much ideas to put out there, man. As always, our stuff is brought to you by La Suprema. Check us out every streaming platform. Hank C's doing it, always doing dope shit. Check us out because we're dope. All right, man. So we're going to get right to it, man. Like we usually do around this month. All right, man. So today's stop, man, is something that I've read somewhere. I think it was George Orwell said it, right? But it's something that's very it goes with what's going on in today's world and today's climate, right? And it pretty much goes like this. It's a saying that says, if you want to know who rules over you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize. You know what? Let me read that better. If you want to know who rules over you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize. Okay? If you want to know who's the boss of you, who can you not talk about? Right? We live in a world supposedly of progress. We've progressed to the point where there's certain people who are uncriticizable, right? Which I think is bullshit, right? Nobody is above reproach, right? Supposedly, right? I've been told my whole life that I have lived in a world that's been ran by people like this, right? Rich, white men, right? Rich white men have dominated our life, right? And they are the ones who made all the laws, made all the constitutions, right? But if you ask me, the power has shifted, right? It's no longer rich white men. Now the people who run the world are lesbian black women, right? Or you know what I'm saying? It's gone to an other extreme, right? If it's not black women, it's a lesbian, it's some sort of minority woman, right? But you know what those two groups have in common? I am a part of neither, okay? I am a part of neither, okay? So I will always speak truth to power, okay? I will speak truth to power, and you should too, right? Just because somebody's just like you or your same color or part of a victim group, right? It doesn't mean that they are beyond reproach, okay? I'm going to tell you somebody right here. Lindsey Graham, Republican. Everybody know, neocon, piece of shit. Am I not calling piece of shit? Liar, fake, probably underground homosexual, right? Nothing wrong with that, but he fakes to be something else, right? A fake, a terrible person. Right now, people watch, I can say that no problem. Round of applause, I get retweeted all day long, right? Mm-hmm. But if I told you that this woman right here, Stacey Abrams, was also a lying, bad, evil person, part of the globalist agenda, not a good person at all, you can hear the gasps. How dare he? She's a woman of color. She's overweight. Okay? Or this person, AOC. Foolish. A foolish child, in my opinion, in many ways, that doesn't live in reality, is not in touch with the people, right? Somebody that is just controlled by Twitter and the mainstream and whatever people say, right? Many, many people, right? You have to, or this guy, Jorge Ramos, a lying piece of shit that makes money off of people's misery, okay? Have been selling people poverty, Univision, for years, okay? And guess what? He's my same skin color, okay? Don't be a coward. Don't only say, oh, it's easy. It's easy to throw rocks at these guys. Oh, the evil white guys. Even though all of these people you all fucking love and listen to. Amazon, they own your life. Bill Gates tell you can't eat fucking cows. You got to eat bugs. You'll eat fucking bugs. Okay, they tell you to fucking stab yourself 85 times with experimental drugs. You'll stab yourself 85. Even though I had that Warren Buffett, oh, you evil rich man, but you fucking follow in line with their ass, right? If you're going to do that, speak to everybody else, right? Even if whatever sexual preference they have, whatever they are, whatever power is, speak to it. And if you feel like I can't talk about these people, maybe those people are in charge, right? That's an incredible power to have, right?
Yep.
I've always wondered, man. You know what? I'm going to ask a dangerous question. This is a little bit off script, man. You know what people like? Who defines what a victim is, right? Like one thing I would like right now. One thing that has been like usurped is the civil rights movement, right? Like right now we live in a time where supposedly gendered and different sexual preferences are like this is the time of their revolution. But if you ask me, they've never been super oppressed. America has allowed it to flourish, rightfully so, right? You know what I'm saying? We can't. It's their life, whatever, right? But have you ever been? Let me ask you a dangerous question. Have you ever been to a gay ghetto? Can you name me somewhere where it's like this is where all the gays are, and it's like it's oppressed right there?
Nope,
I haven't. Mm-mm. If anything, if you ever go to the gay part of town in any town, it's usually the nicest part of town.
Yep.
Wow, this is not something saying against individual gay people, but they're the agenda, the fact that this civil issue has gotten so much in the mainstream, has taken over every conversation. Lets you know that there's some power behind it. There's some money behind it. This is just a question. It's not an accusation. I sell homes. I sell real estate. Okay? You know who always has the money? Gay couples.
True.
Always. I have sold homes to many gay men partners, right? Female partners. I've sold to many straight women. Older women, I've sold them homes. You know who I've never sold a home to? A single man. A single man who's just a man just buying. If they have a family, then I've sold it to them, right? Mm-hmm. But never to just a single man, right? Mm-hmm. So just weird things to question, right? And if right now, if you're offended by this, like, well, how can it's just a question that I ask? It shouldn't scare you. Give me an answer. Mm-hmm. That's all I ask, right? So if you want to know who rules over you, see who you are not allowed to criticize. How do you guys feel about that, brother? Hank and Matt?
It's true. You're right. Right now it's a world of cancellation. You can't criticize, the government, right? It's
or medicine.
True. Yeah. Right? Even doctors that went to school for medicine are being canceled. So yeah. So
right. You can't question the narrative.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what makes me question, like, man, like the other day I was having a conversation about Google, right? Like, imagine if you lived in the movie about the future, and in the future they were like, oh, everybody goes to the answer box. Everybody's like in the future, like, oh, answer box, tell us what everything is. You'd think those people were like, this is a stupid movie, right? That's what everybody is today. Everybody's like, oh, let me go to the answer. Google, tell me what to think. La, la, la. You know what I'm saying? Like, incredible, dog. What'd you think, Hank?
I agree, man. I agree that, there's so many different parts to it, man. I agree that we're forgetting to research, we're forgetting to think, but at the same time, within the narrative, things are being removed. They're just removed from in front of us. They're being removed, right? Or being altered.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Let's say before we used to live, supposedly we used to live in a world where the white people always dominated everything. We couldn't say anything. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that was weird? Do you feel like people have always been like, we've always been free to say like, fuck white people and they're shitty? Like, or have you not been able to say? Was there a time when you were scared to say that?
No, never.
Right? We've always been like freely be able to criticize the powers that be. We've always been, we've been criticizing Reagan. We criticized all the Bushes, right? Mm-hmm. Always, right? But now what they do is they give you these fake planted people, which I feel Stacey Abrams is a planted person, right? Now you can't say anything. I feel like it's like a form of control, dog. Yeah. In a way, dog. They give us people that are like, somebody that's like me is not, my skin color doesn't define me. My values define me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Not my skin color.
I've never been. Yeah, I don't agree with that. That where the skin color comes first.
Right? Pretty nuts, big dog. All right, man. So, that's what I wanted to say, man. And that is that. All right, we're gonna move on to the news of the day. All right. All right, the news of the day today brought to you by Czaleo, Guelaguetza, Garcia, Gonzalez, Racanak, Guanac. Cienfuegos. All right, man. All right, big dog. Here we go. The news of the day. One of the most popular segments we have here. We'll catch you up what's going on. So the first thing, man, that is affecting everybody, it seems like it had kind of gone away. People were kind of happy about it, but it seems like it's not going anywhere. And that's the economy, man. And the gas prices, dog. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly he didn't know. The people in power today, they didn't have the power to control gas prices. But then when gas prices went down, they took full credit for it. Now they seem to kind of be creeping back up, right? Nobody's
take credit for that.
They're not going to take credit for that.
Oh man,
rates are going up. The Fed is going, right, stocks are going down. Like, at what point, dog, are people going to be fed up, dog? At what point? I feel like even the liberal news is starting to attack a little bit.
Yeah.
The liberal news is starting to attack the establishment at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm. You can't hide it. You can't hide it.
But even like here, like we live in Cali, dog. Let's be honest, right? We live in freaking zombie town, dog. These people will follow them no matter what, dog. At what point do you think? At what price does gas have to get where people will stop voting blue in this town? Automatically? Which not, if you want to find blues, fine, but just don't be automatic blues like most of you are.
I think it's gonna be $10.
$10, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's when people are gonna
$10?
wake up. So we still have what, 4 more bucks?
That's
to
a
go?
lot, dude. Fuck, people should be voting now. That's a lot, dog. I don't want to get to 10. We're like at 6, right? Like low 6s.
It
in the worst case
it
scenario,
was dropping, right?
It was dropping, dog, but it's come back up, dog.
Yeah.
When you go to the wrong place and you'll still get that high gas price. And stocks, man. I mean, don't the financial powers that we have to have pull over politicians? They gotta be like, hey, bro, you fucking up the money, dog. Or was this the plan the whole time? I feel like they're tanking everything on purpose, right? I feel like it's the Great Reset.
Yeah,
it's the Great Reset.
Absolutely,
They're just tanking everything on purpose. Because
if you take a step back and you really just look at what's going on, I mean, and if you gone down that rabbit hole,
right?
Yeah, it's a great. So we're just offloading cutting the fat and trimming everything else.
You know what's the worst about? I'm sorry.
Go for it. No.
What's the worst about it, dog? Is that this is the new religion. What's worse about it, dog, is these people they're true believers. They are true believers in this woke fucking the world's is fucking what's the overheating? What's the fucking
global warming?
Global warming. They're fucking believers in all. They really think that they're doing the right thing, which is so dangerous about it.
Yeah, because
they're just authoritarian about it. And if you disagree with them, they'll fucking cut your head off.
I don't even know.
But they're wrong.
At what
point they're leading us to garbage.
Yeah.
Like at what point? I mean, we really don't know what's going on. There's chemtrails. There's
right.
the heart machine that could change the weather. Like, man.
No, it's ridiculous. Right. And you know what? I think the saddest thing is like it's coming from a good place. Like, it came out of a good place. Hey, let's protect the planet. But then it's just they took advantage of our goodness, like of our heart.
No, it's a lie, dog. It's just an advertisement. It's just the powers that be like, oh, now they just all have to wait to go solar and electric themselves. Now they're gonna sell it to all us, right?
Yeah.
GM and all, they're all behind it at the end of the day. And now do the right thing. That's just a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Green is just a sales pitch, dog.
Well, with the electric, I think that the problem with the electric is the batteries. You can't dispose those batteries.
And there's no such thing as an emissions-free vehicle.
No.
There's arguments that say that those things are even worse than gas-powered cars. Or somebody, there's some kid in Africa or in China, dog, fucking losing their hands, getting cancer every day to get you the lithiums. But you don't give a fuck. You don't give a goddamn. You don't care about the world. You just want to be on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, let me move on to another.
Yeah, but that's the way they're gonna control us. You know, they're gonna tell us we can't charge the car this week because of the heat event.
Yeah, exactly, dog. Exactly, dog. Or you've worked up too much credits or some bullshit, dog. All right, man. Another thing going on, dog, that I wanted to talk about, man, was I've said it before, man. Europe, man. There's things going on around the world, man. There's a lot of nationalism. People call it right wing, but it's not, man. That lady from Italy, she's dope. Have you seen her? Dog? She got elected prime minister. She has this one speech. I have a clip of it, man. She's gangster, dog. She said exactly goes against the damn globalist agenda. Here we go.
Che fossimo solamente schiavi, consumatori perfetti. E allora è sotto attacco l'identità nazionale, è sotto attacco l'identità religiosa, è sotto attacco l'identità di genere, è sotto attacco l'identità familiare. Non devo potermi definire italiana, cristiana. Che fossimo solamente schiavi.
I'm sorry. So yeah, that's just a clip of it, man. But she goes hard, man. She's like, it's about God, country, God, family, country. You know what I'm saying? She's going against the globalists. She says exactly what people are thinking, what people thought here, right? And then they paint her as a right wing. Right now, the media, and what's crazy is also the hypocrisy. She's a woman that just became. Where's all the women? Why isn't she in the cover of Vanity Fair? Where's Oprah? Where's the Oprah interview?
Yeah.
But did
that sound extremist? No, that's basic. Basic. She didn't do nothing out of the box. Everything that she said was basic and true. That's it. We don't. We believe in family. We believe in God. We want to live and love our countries, right? We don't want to be nameless consumers with just a damn scanner number, which is where we're all slowly becoming.
That's where we're headed.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's doing it face first, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So I like her, man. And one thing that I feel like I feel like it's a trend, man. It's a trend happening all over Europe, right? I don't know if it's gonna happen here, right? Because the medias that be kind of stopped it, but I don't know, man. Let's see what happens. But it's interesting to see. Remember Le Pen in France? She almost won. She almost came up, man. They're still strong. Let's see how the rest of Europe goes, because global trends, we're not unaffected by global trends, man. All right, man. So the other thing I want to talk about, big dog, was it seems like that fool Brett Favre is in big trouble, huh?
What is going on?
Yeah, dog. So I haven't got the put. You know what? Because it's always like what I hate, dog, is out there. Because there's also the things going on with the Celtics coach. He's also another fool that fucked up, dog. You know. But everybody's trying to on the racial. Well, what happened if he did this? How come he's not going? Like fuck all the racial. Everybody like you break, or Michael Vick. Michael Vick went 7 years in jail. So Brett Favre. Dog, we gotta stop doing that. It's not racial. Let's look at everything what's happening here, dog. Now I like Brett Favre. He's a country boy, but he seems to like he fucked up, dog. Like they took some money from. Money is supposed to go to taxes, right? He was basically messing with a politician, and they flipped some money going out of welfare to put it into his volleyball arena that was going to be named after the guy, and that's the school where his daughter goes and she plays volleyball. That's kind of the gist of it. If there's more to it, somebody let me know, right? But he got caught in the email. He's saying the whole, because Brett Favre's country. He probably said the whole, I'm with this whole email be secret. He don't fucking know shit, So his whole character's being brought down, But I mean, if he fucked up, he fucked up, But also people be like, he stole, but like, dude, in Mississippi, I guarantee you that probably the majority of people on welfare are probably white. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi's full of a lot of poor white people, just as much as and poor black people as well. And then the Celtics coach, dog, it keeps getting. Have you kind of heard about this? Anybody?
I didn't hear about this one. I just heard about Brett Favre.
Damn. Okay, I was hoping you guys knew more because I know a little bit, dog. But it keeps getting like more and more comes out, and people keep changing because it's like the Celtics were like secretly they placed him on suspension for a year. Nobody knew why. And they were like, oh, it's racist. But then it comes out that he was in inappropriate relations with somebody in the team. Also, maybe that's something but then people are like, well, we shouldn't know people's private lives. But then it's like, dude, it was like turns out it might be the wife of the vice president of the team. You know what I'm saying? And then she might have had an abortion. Like it's just like this mess, dog.
So he got suspended by that, or that's the.
So now he's gone, and then I guess they don't want to fire him. But people think, because it's also the race. Everybody's gonna look like it's racist. But dude, wrong is wrong, dog. You can't be going. That's foul, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't seem the right. That's just inappropriate behavior for the leader of a team, dog. And I don't like people being in personal lives. I don't believe in an athlete's personal lives. But when when he messes with somebody within the organization and all that. That's a mess, and you gotta clip that in the butt, dog. That guys hadn't really gone around to your universe. Okay, man, but yeah, man, it's pretty nuts. All right, man. Now I'm gonna let me see. Let me meme of the day. Oh no, you know what? Let me talk about one more thing. Did I send it? Oh no, select. Okay, I'll do the meme of the day. The meme of the day today is. If you're listening on the radio, it's in Spanish actually, and it has a girl looking all good, taking a selfie, and it has some burnt rice on the side, right? And it says, para hacer TikTok, pero para hacer arroz, it says so for a TikTok, but when it comes to making rice, fucking burnt ass
no
rice,
skills,
right? No skills, dog.
No skills.
That's the
burnt rice.
Ladies today, man, a lot of you looking good up, but fellas, man, watch out what you get, dog. Make sure that you don't get that burnt rice, dog, because beauty fades, homie, but cooking skills last. You know what I'm saying? They will make you happier for a longer time. You know what I'm saying? So just a little game for y'all. All right, man.
Or you're gonna end up cooking.
Yeah, you're gonna end up cooking your whole life.
Learn how to cook.
You're not, learn how to cook, man. All right, man. All right, fellas. So we're gonna move on. All right, man. We're gonna move on to if I rule the. You want to do a little research? Yeah. All right, man. If I ruled the world, man. Okay, man. If I ruled, I guess it kind of goes on with all the topics of today, man. It all kind of connects, man. If I ruled the world, I would have never put I wish that cell phones never had cameras, and I would eliminate all Ring cameras. Okay.
Oh, something interesting about that Ring.
Go for it.
You know what's going on with that Ring?
They're gonna make a TV show.
They're making a TV show, man. They bought I think it's owned by Amazon, right? So Amazon bought Lionsgate or somebody. And so they're gonna use footage from the Ring. It's like bloops and blunders, I guess, or something like that. You know, like something like that. So but it's gonna be clips from people.
So we just accepted the terms, and that's probably one of the terms.
Yep.
Your data will be used for a TV show on Amazon.
Maybe. Yeah. There is no more privacy, man. It's fucking terrible, dude. I hate it, and what I hated today, it's the Pandora. It's out the box, and there's no putting it back.
I just don't think that people see how when something happens, they use these opportunities to break in with these laws and change things and change, and then you don't see it, and it doesn't affect you until years later. But all this is coming back from 9/11.
Yeah, man. No, but I feel like the powers that be, they figured out that you couldn't oppress people. Back in the day, they were like, what you have to do is fucking entertain them. I always say like fucking like rubbing your nipples, fucking for jacking off feels good, right? But you can't do it all day long, right? It's unproductive. But that's what they do to all day long. We're fucking having our nipples rubbed and our fucking getting jacked off. That's what American life is. That's what the powers that be figured out. And as long as you keep them like fucking entertained, feeling good, we can do anything to them, dude. And people allow it. You know what I'm saying? We live in it like it's dystopia. It's dystopia of the future. We're all looking at each other at all times, dude. There's gonna be drones flying over the city. No more police, right? And there's gonna be it's just, to me, it's prison, dog. I find it suffocating. Does anybody, do you feel that way too? Or
it's crazy. What for me, it's dangerous now because it's kind of like what Hank was saying. There's going to be a TV show about it. But let's say one of us want to run for office or something, and they got all the dirt. It's
of
like,
everything,
everything. Like, let's say, for example, you're protecting your family, and it's on camera, and look, he's punching a homeless guy or something like that, But it's like they don't know the outcome because they'll make the narrative,
right? Even
so that's all that dangerous.
Even this show, right? 10 years from now, they'll come back and say, "Oh, do you remember you said this right here?"
Yeah. But this is, at least we know
what we're doing. Right, what we're doing. Right.
The Ring thing is kind of more of like secret privacy. It's kind of like, I just want to make sure like everything's fine. Yeah.
You know what? In a way, remember the very first episode I ever did about the Clippers owner. Remember how the Clippers owner lost everything because of some fucking hood rat that recorded him?
Yes.
And I told you, there's precedence, dog. Everything said, people were like, "Oh, it wasn't like, I wasn't down with him. I thought he was a terrible owner." But the way that they took him out, that was not the right way. It was stupid to do that because it opens the window for shit like this. Now we can all be recorded illegally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can lose everything. The man lost his the thing is that you all think, well, he would know, because you don't think like owners. That's why you're still broke and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't, something that you own because something you said at the privacy of your home, that's some fucking hood rat just happened to record you and you can lose everything. That was not fair. Was he racing all that? Yeah, but you should have found another way to take it from him because you set a bad precedent and now we live in this world, right?
Yeah. And the thing, it's illegal to record without consent, right? But the thing is, while they figure that out in court, they already use it.
Yeah.
They still use it.
So it's kind of like, you sued her, but you look bad in front of millions.
That's right.
So it's kind of like, what's the point then?
Yeah, you're right. They'll drag it out. They'll play for the public. Oh, but we can't use it in court.
Yeah.
But what's the point? Because the public's already killed.
Yeah, kind of like the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? Like they made him a bad guy. I mean, I know it's different, but it's kind of like my thing is kind of, while you do the things at court, you're already like guilty.
You've already been killed by the public opinion. And which was really the most damaging, like 1984, right? They kill your character.
You can't outlive that. I mean,
you know what? It's also like the feminized world that we live in, right? Because we were like they would say, like, there's studies with boys and girls, right? Like boys, we physically, when boys, especially like kids, like teenagers and all that, boys, they physically, I hate you, I'll sock you. We'll fucking squab. Eventually, we're gonna squab. Eventually, it's gonna get to it. We're gonna play basketball. We're gonna throw hands. But not women. Women kill your character. Women, they don't fight. They say, "Oh, she's a slut. She did this. Oh, she's like that. Oh, she has fake this." And then they kill your character for years. It's more evil, right? But that's like this feminized world right now. Everybody wants to be like that. We don't want to. It's all this like all behind the scenes, and all this. Oh, we're just for the cause of being fair, but they're really killing you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which is also more cowardly. You know what I'm saying? Which is freaking whack, man. So if I ruled the world, I wish I wish we would have still had it. You know what? Even like the art form of pictures, right? Like photography, everybody's a photographer now. Just like music, it got cheapened. Everybody's a rapper, right? It's like it's something that was actually valued, like art cheapened, cheapened. Just like music cheapened, right? You used to have a phone and then a separate thing, right? Like, I know that it's convenience, but it's also all in one place. And it's just Pandora's box, right? Once they put it in, Steve will work. And one of the everybody thinks that Steve Jobs was the genius. No, Steve Jobs was just like, we should put it in. Hey, you motherfucker, figure out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some other nameless poor man in China who was fucking probably, they killed him. He's the one that really figured out how to do it, or somebody, dog, or some Bangladesh fool, right? And that's what Steve Jobs was like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna sell this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, and I also I know people they're just obsessed with it. Dog. You get one camera, next thing you know, you have 7 in the back. Oh, what are they doing? People are like, oh, mira, look, fool, look, look, my neighbor's there, fool. Look, dog, you see? And it's just like, and then I know it's all human nature. I'm sure I will be the same. Dog. We're all it just gets you. People get it. They're like, oh, look, dog, look, and that's now this fucking Ring camera show, dude. And the thing is that the power, they do this in your face, and everybody's like, equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Disappointing, dog. You got anything else to say, man? We got a minute before we go to commercial.
Yeah, I mean, I have Ring cameras, to be honest, and it's kind of like I forget to charge them sometimes, so it's kind of like, all right, that's the lazy part. But I really, is it really safe? It's just, is it really doing something right now? Like right now, thinking about it,
a third party watching over you, watching over you.
So it's a really
like
safe.
would a crime have happened, or you
you give up stop the crime?
Yeah.
Maybe just to help catch whoever did something.
Yeah, and then what are you gonna do with it? But what did you give up for it? Like, what did I give up to know that somebody's fucking knocked over my mailbox?
Yeah.
Pretty nuts, man. Pretty nuts, dog. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in less than 3 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. We'll see you soon.
So arrive early. The address is 1135 East Compton Boulevard. That's 1135 East Compton Boulevard in Compton, California. For more information, follow them on IG at First Sundays Open Mic.
Just muted with mic. Cool. No mic is muted anymore. All right. Can you guys hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, yep, I can hear you.
All right, man. All right, man. We're gonna move. Make sure, right? We can double check. Okay. All right, man. So we're back, everybody. Welcome to the second half hour today. We're gonna get into everybody's favorite segment, the #1 segment of the show, which is the great fucking movie. That's right. A great freaking movie, man. Today we're gonna get into an all-out classic, the kind of classic that we like around this show, them 80s and 90s classics, the man macho movies. One starring my guy Arnold Schwarzenegger, a movie I'm not sure if everybody should recall, man. If you're from the 80s and the 90s, man, this movie is something that was always on the TV, on cable. At some point, you had to catch it, man. That's Total Recall. You remember that, Matthew?
Oh, yeah, I remember. And you probably watched it in Spanish, too. So
right.
Put it in the comments if you did watch it in Spanish.
If you watched it in another, it's one of those movies that got around the world, man. So let me play you guys the trailer. Give me 1 second, all right, to give you guys a feel for this movie.
Your mind.
It
is the center of your life. It is everything you hear.
In a world.
Everything you see. Everything you feel. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
Come here. You can audio? I won't work myself. Let me tell you, but you can watch it. You guys can't hear it at home.
Great.
Cut.
Get ready for a surprise.
We can't let him run around. He knows too much. They've got you bugged.
We'll try to do the audio. We'll try to do it back there. Okay, so it's a story. What's great about this movie, man, it's one of those movies that it's kind of based on Philip K. Dick, and it's not about the future, right? And it's a trippy movie because it's a trippy movie about what reality is, right? We meet Quaid. Quaid is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. He's just like a regular Joe in this movie. He's not like a kick-ass guy, right? He's a guy that has a construction job. And he lives in Mars. Well, he lives on Earth, but we live in a time where people have gone to Mars and colonized it, right? So he's always had these dreams of going to Mars. It seems like, like back in the, I imagine when people were discovering the Wild West, people were like, I'm gonna go out to California and discover the new world, right? Or people in the Columbus days, right? People were like, I'm gonna go to America and make my fortune, right? I imagine some people are like, I'm gonna go to Mars if we ever got there, right? So he's like bored with his life. He has a fine wife named Sharon Stone, right? He has like a cool life, but for some reason, there's something inside him that like he wants more. Okay, there we go. And then at the end of it, we don't really know if it was an illusion or if it was real.
Yeah.
That's what the biggest trip of it. It reminded me of the movie Inception in a way, right? Yeah, man. Let me see if these things will
work now.
The bug's in your skull.
Take this.
Okay, no problem, man. So yeah, man, that's Total Recall. We'll do it again, man. We'll do it again on another day. We'll get the clips in. But yeah, dog. There's another movie. That one big part of this movie too that also changed everybody's life, dog, was the three-breasted lady. Right? If you are of a certain age group, man, that's like I guess for some people, you know, Star Wars, the Jedi girl. Was there was that one lady when Princess Leia was like locked up. That they say that for a lot of people in that generation, it was like their moment of like you know sexual maturity, right? I think for our age group, this one when the lady came out with the three breasts, it just like changed our lives.
Total Recall, three breasts.
Right, right. That's like what sticks out about the movie the most. But anything you gotta say about it, man?
No, for me it's trippy because I really enjoyed the movie. It's kind of like, was it real or was it like that was. For me, it's kind of, I think it's one of the first movies I think I can remember is kind of like where you don't know what happened at the end, you know? Yeah. And it was perfect. Like, I'm glad like they didn't say like, oh, it was all real, it was all fake, right? You know? Yeah. It kind of gets you tripped. Like, you still wonder after the movie.
You know, like, if anything, I thought it was real for many years. I didn't only till recently that I started thinking deeper about like, wait a second. Maybe it was a dream. Yeah. Maybe what he bought, that was what he bought. Because remember there's a part when he's in the middle of the hole, because at this point, he's like gone back home. His wife is trying to murder him. Mm-hmm. All of his friends are not his friends. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on, right? Yeah. And then there's like this guy that gets sent in, the psychiatrist that supposedly that Sharon Stone gets him to be in a room with her again. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you're not my, she had already tried to murder him. He's like, look, baby, I'm telling the truth. Remember, he gets that one doctor, this one like crazy looking psychologist. He's like, look, I'm here to save you. I'm from the real world. You're having a mental embolism, right? Yeah. He's like, if you don't come with me in the next 5 minutes, we're gonna just do a gynoplasty. And you're gonna be fucking, you know, we're gonna blow up your brain, right? But then that fool, he's like, but he's looking at him. Remember, at the last second, he does a drop of sweat, and when he sees the fool sweat, he's like, nah, it's fucking, this is real. But then he commits to it, right? So it seems like it's real, dog, you know. So I remember as a kid thinking the whole time that it was real, right? But then as I got older, I'm like, man.
The script was perfect. The script was perfect. The script was perfect. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, take the red pill, you know? It's like you're a secret agent, and like everyone's coming here to attack me and all that. So, you know, you can't trust anyone, you know, like that's awesome. I don't know. It's a great script. It's a great script.
It was underrated too, man. Even though I think it was a box office hit, but it took like a little bit of a couple of years for it to be truly appreciated. You know? And I feel like now you see it like on like sci-fi lists. Mm-hmm. You always see it now on lists of like the best movies of like sci-fi because just all the concept. But they try to do a redo.
The remake,
the remake with Colin Farrell. Mm. It was okay, right? But it didn't hit the same way too. And another thing about the movie that's great, man, is the effects.
Yes. Yes.
Right, like to this day, man. To this day, they still. Let me play some.
Put the case and stick it up your nose. Don't worry, it's self-guiding.
Got him. I lost him.
Welcome to Mars.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around. Here.
Look who's talking.
You erased your identity and implanted a new one.
If I'm not me, who the hell am I?
He's got a hologram!
Welcome to Johnny Cab. Drive. Where can I take you tonight? Please fasten your seatbelt. I want Clay delivered alive for reimplantation.
That's for making me come to Mars. You wouldn't hurt me. After all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
We hope hope you enjoyed the ride.
Arnold's in the lady suit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that was big, traumatizing kind of status.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It was good effects though. Those were all done without CGI, dog.
Yeah.
You know, so
it was hard work. It was hard work. They had to make the robots, you know?
It was impressive, man. It was impressive, man. So Total Recall, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance, check it out. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It is a great classic movie. All right, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you for bearing with us for technical difficulties. All right, man. But now we're gonna get into another very popular segment, which is Are you ready to go down the deep hole of conspiracy with me, Matty boy? Ready? All right, man. Today we're gonna get into a one that's very interesting, dog, and that connects to many things. And I don't really think of it as a conspiracy theory. I gotta think of it as a fact. It's more about we just don't know what the powers of it are, right? The pineal gland. Have you heard about this? You've seen this symbol all over Egyptian symbolism and all that stuff. The pineal gland is, if you look at it, that symbolism, it's something that's in our brain. It's at the very top of our brain. It's in all of our brains. That's an exact copy of it. People in the past knew about the powers of this, right? But the idea is that this is where all our spirituality is, right? This is where it allows us to access another universe in a way, right? There is great power. People say that DMT, that's what it is. When you take DMT, you're like exploding what your pineal gland does, right? And there's also these ideas, man, that like we're sold all these ideas in science, right? That we're just bags of meat. We're just bags of meat that were actually all this fucking dust. Evolution came and this dust hit a rock, and a spider hit a spider, and a fish became a monkey, and you're this, and they're really just nothing, right? But maybe we are more. We do have a soul, right? They say that a lot of the stuff that but what is one of the things that affects the pineal gland, and what is the enemy of those things? Fluoride. That's right. Aluminum, sugar. Everything that we're fed is fed to stop this gland of ours, our third eye.
Hitler developed fluoride.
You're going deep.
It's a third eye. It's a third eye. It's like the brain's eye, right? That allows us to see more.
Hitler was into that, to stopping the gland from growing and from so fluoride was introduced.
Really?
So you had to stop it.
And fluoride is all over our water systems here today, right? It's all over.
It's good for your teeth. It's good for your teeth.
Good for your teeth, supposedly.
That's right. But it doesn't have that much fluoride in it to hurt.
To matter, supposedly, right? Interesting though, right? There's a lot of people that even they say, because it's all about like when they go into it, when they take them out, like those cells, they create all these colors and stuff, right? They create art. We're like touching into the universe, right? They even say that like when let me see something.
When you astral project, you're using pineal gland.
Yes, right. And also, but also like religious figures, right? Whenever you look at pictures of Jesus in the past, right, or even Buddha, right, it's they're shiny, right? They have like you see that they're like glowing. There's colors, right? That's a big part of it too, right now. That's they discovered like we can only see things that our eyes see, but there's other, like right now, like we have dogs. If you have a dog, supposedly dogs see things that we don't see, right? They have a whole or like the Predator movies, right? Heat, right? We have eyes that allow us to see what's in front of us in a certain way, but there's a bunch of things going on that we don't all see, right? So, interesting. Have you guys have you heard any more about this?
No, I'm actually this is the first time I kind of pay attention. Like,
really?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it now. But it's crazy, it makes sense. Like for me, what you're saying, like the sugars and kind of letting that not grow anymore. It's crazy, like it's eye opening.
Yeah, and also because the stuff that like the metaverse and all that bullshit, the stuff we're talking about, how they figured out how to just control us to please us to death, right? That's what they're fucking with, right? Or even like the tablets with our kids and ourselves and our text, right? What is it that the not opium that what are we every time? Dopamine, right? Which is just what drug addicts are, right? We're all getting dopamine all the time, so they're really learning. If they control our third eye and all that, we're fucked. We're done, right? There's the idea is like there's other. You've seen third eye symbolism everywhere. You've seen it like in Masonic stuff, right? You've seen it all over the place, right? You've seen this if you've seen hieroglyphics or you've seen alien movies. It's always something, right? It's like this, and it's also part of a lot of ancient cultures, right? But it's also something that we don't talk about at all. Have you heard people talk? How many people you seen selling up your pineal gland medicine, pineal gland cleaner? Never. Right? We have liver cleaners. We have fucking depression medicine. Right? You never hear it. But the pineal gland, it's like the secret. It's like this center that allows us to connect to our spirit and to our greater us. Right. And a lot of time, people reach it like Buddhism and all that, or through great religion, you reach it, right? Or like, you can get like doing drugs and all that. It's just unleashing things that you already have inside of you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like easier ways to do it, right? But it is all inside of you.
Right.
For me, what's trippy right now was the Los Jeroglíficos, like like with the eye. That's trippy, like from like
it's an exact copy. It's an exact copy of the way that it looks, the way that it loops out. So they knew something. Right. I'm a big believer that history that we're told is not true at all. I don't know exactly what the fuck. I know that there's a God. I know that Jesus was here, but everything else, I don't really fucking know.
So a lot to the what you were saying, right? So or we were talking about earlier. So they're dumbing us down, right?
Right.
As of right now with the phones, right? We talked about it last show. People don't really write anymore. Cursive's kind of like going out the window, right? Cool. Right. So like we can understand that because we're kind of living through that, right? So who's to say that we didn't have these powers before, that over time they have been dumbing down, right? Yeah. Like eventually, maybe 40, maybe or even more, maybe 100 years from now, I don't know, people won't do cursive anymore. It won't be a thing. Yeah. But guess what? Oh, wow, look at this book. People used to write like that. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that we had powers and that maybe we utilized, but slowly but surely, it's kind of like,
the pyramids. To this day, people they can't explain how those are physically impossible to put those rocks so perfectly, right? Have you guys heard that in the Bible it says if you have the faith of a seed, you can move a mountain, right? There was this one time I saw that there's this guy in the South too that he discovered the same thing. He had this monument. He even had a little flare. He built these things that were mathematically impossible. He said that there's a way if you figure out if you do Zen where you can if you push it in the right place you can just move rocks. So, right, but it's it's something that we've lost over time.
Right.
There was even the idea of Roman fire. Back in the day, there was a thing called Roman fire. It was the Romans were known for it. When they would go on ocean, they dominated the Navy because there was a thing called Roman fire. They would just be able to make the oceans all burn. Without even taking a shot, other navies would fall. That technology has been lost. Nobody, they try to recover it. Nobody knows how the fuck they did it.
Right.
But it was well known,
Yeah. A lot of that, man. It's just spiritual growth. But your pineal gland is spiritual growth, is balancing. A lot of the yogis, that's what they do that, and they get into this state of state, like you said, where they see colors and they're but they're very. I guess the ultimate is that they're very in tune with themselves, right? And so we're not in tune with ourselves just based on the sugars that we eat, the stuff that's,
it's not. And then we all like, even like we all getting hectic in life, right? We're all doing it, but and then like we're all our identity. I'm here and I have this job and I got to do this and the kids got to go there. And we never have time to.
We're not present.
We're just We're just in this system. And like, should we be in this system? Like what, that's why people take time to stop and you got to go to the wilderness. And sometimes people do things to remind them.
Yeah. Like Hank was saying, like, it's like the things that we're getting is dumbing us down. Like, for example, before the phones, before GPS, we had Thomas Guide, right?
Right.
So, but, once you went to one place, you already know how to get there. That's right. So it's kind of like you don't need to memorize it. Right now, you don't need to memorize it anymore. If I forget, I'll just go ahead and just use Google Maps. Or phone numbers, right? Remember back in the day, you would have
the phone number king. I know where everybody.
I don't know. I still
don't use maps.
Three phone numbers.
I always remember.
Right.
I just know 3 phone numbers.
And that's an exercise that your mind is not utilizing anymore. And we willfully are not doing that.
And we're gonna have more and more cases of Alzheimer's and all that stuff too, because it's just like your brain is like a muscle. The less you use it, the more people are gonna be having Alzheimer's at 47.
Yeah,
in 20 years.
True.
They're gonna be like they don't use calculators. They don't calculate math.
It's not something like your brain up until like it's something that absorbs, but at that point it'll just be something you just filtering.
Yeah,
it's just a filter because you're not relying on it to utilize it.
It only grows through use.
Right.
That's crazy.
I feel bad for teachers right now because I remember when I was in school, right, 3rd grade, right, we had calculators, and then I would tell the teacher like, "Why do I need to learn math? I have the calculator right here." Right. Just imagine what the teachers are going through right now. Like, why do I need to do this? I can find everything in Google.
And find the opposite of what you
math,
believe.
but now it's like Google.
That's
so it's,
man.
Well, that's
you know what? Let's go back to this when we have time at the end.
Yeah,
cool? We'll bring back around. Let me get this segment in here before we which I think is important. The things your daddy should have taught you today.
You may think I'm being hard on you right now, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to teach you how to be responsible.
I got 2 segments I'm gonna scream to. All right, man. Things your daddy should have taught you for the day, man. Real simple, black and brown, everybody, Hispanic, black, white, everybody, brothers out there. Don't go to jail. Okay? Ain't nothing happening up there. Ain't nothing going on that you need to be a part of. Okay? It's not gonna make you a more downer homie. It's not gonna make you a more real ninja. Okay? It's not, you ain't gonna go out there and meet a cool guy like, fucking Shawshank and have philosophical fucking discussions. Okay? Don't go. Once you get in that fucking system, dog, you're in that system, dog. You know what I'm saying? Once they get you, for some reason, statistics show people end up going back somehow. Okay? Don't get caught up in it. It's not a fair place. I know you see movies, the lawyer comes and they prove it. Nah, dog. That's 1 in a million.
Yeah,
right.
There's a lot of people that go there, never come out, never did nothing. Remember that story about that poor person in New York like 2 years ago? He had been like falsely arrested on some ticket. He had spent like 2 years in Rikers Island until he killed himself because he didn't even get a court date. You know what I'm saying? Especially the way it is now, with the way that, especially in big cities, liberal cities, dog, don't go to jail. No. There's no rules.
Nope.
One thing I'm hearing in the streets, dog, like right now, especially, you don't want to go to the shout out to Asesino Lirical, man, from Conflicto Armado, man. He was putting me up on game, dog. You don't want to go to prisons these days, dog. All the little rules about who runs it, it's a lot of separating now. These fools are uniting with these fools because these fools have gotten out of control. You know, there's a lot of rules breaking, dog. So don't go.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening up there, right?
Another advice: if you really think you're innocent, get a lawyer. Get a lawyer.
Up,
yeah, don't go. Don't go.
Don't trust the county.
Yeah, go. Just get a lawyer. You know.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I'll tell your family, your cousin, whoever you got, dog, scrape it up, get you out of there, dog, because it's somewhere you just don't want to be. It's out of you smelly. Looking around men all day, dog. Imagine it stinks. You know what I'm saying?
If you struggle with COVID being on lockdown, just imagine that.
No women. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to jail. All right. From your boy Cesar Leo. All right, man. Last segment. I'm gonna get in here, man. The overall lowering of standards. This one's just kind of important to me, man, because it collects a lot of stuff we're talking about too, and it's like electric cars and other stuff, man. You know what? So I was having this conversation the other day. It's the American rite of passage. What happened to the American rite of passage? You know what it used to be? It used to be war, right? But after war, it was football, driving, and trying to lose your virginity, right? Trying to have sex, right? Those things are almost all gone. Now we have generations of fucking kids like this who don't even want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? the electric cars. You know all this thing about. You know what it makes me think, dog. You know what? Kids are driving less these days. You guys know that?
True.
Everybody who has teenagers, kids don't want to drive. They all want to Uber. Yep. These electric cars, they're not going to be drivable. They're going to be controlled, right? Dude, cars used to be free. Remember, getting your license was an American rite of passage. Yeah, right. I used to say, when I got my bike, that was my first bit of freedom. When I got a bike, the first time I could go to other cities, I can go to other parks, freedom. And then a car was more than that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, I could do this. But now everybody's going to be electric. You can't even drive yourself. They're going to go where you're fucking told. And when you owe a ticket, they're going to lock the doors and they're going to drive you to court to go pay your ticket. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And football, everybody's attacked it because of CTE and all this nonsense, you know? And kids nowadays, all the testosterone things are low, right? Kids aren't having sex. We're not having babies. We lost our rite of passages. Rite of passages are things that are difficult. Okay, James Dean, it used to be cool to fucking drive, right? But you might get in an accident. There were stories of teens who, you know, it's terrible, right? But you got to do it. You got to play football, okay? You got to try to get rejected, okay, and fail, okay? I was spent my whole life trying to get girls, 95% failure rate, you know what I'm saying? But I kept on trying, you know what I'm saying? What happened to that, man? The standards, there is no more American pastime. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
the rite of passage. What makes you a man? You're a military man.
Yeah, man.
That's a military man.
Drink a beer, shoot a gun.
Right?
Yeah,
man. We're losing everything, man. It's sad, man. It's sad if we continue, but I mean, we could change it, right? Like we're at a state where we can change it.
Yeah. I don't know, but when in this state right here, they just made electric cars. I'm telling you, all that is just control. Electric cars they're wimpy, if you ask me, dog. If you're trying to save gas, yeah, but if you're a man, you can't get no bitches in an electric car, dog. Get a Mercedes-Benz or a big-ass truck or a Mustang like a man. You know what I'm saying?
Get a truck.
Yeah, dog. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all a trick. It's just a trick, and I think it's part of the feminization of the culture. All right, man. Commercial break. We'll be back for the last half an hour. We'll see you soon. All right.
Right, baby. Shout out to everybody at Maryland. There you go. You know about Shannon, dog? What about Shannon, dog? All right, dog. No, dog. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. We're so happy to be here. We're gonna get into our next segment, which is like I said, my favorite segment. It's called Hollywood Tales. It's where I get to talk about my home, Los Angeles. Let me see if oh, you know what? I don't even have the video to play here anyway, bro. So we're good. All right, man. All right, man. So Hollywood Tales, man. Today, like I always say, Hollywood and LA is a kind of a misunderstood place, right? Today, I'm not gonna talk about a person, right, or an event. I'm gonna talk about a portion of Los Angeles, right? A portion of Los Angeles that I feel is unfairly hated on. It's a universe within a universe, and that is the San Fernando Valley. The Valley. You remember growing up when you watched Saved by the Bell? Who was the enemy? They went to Bayside, and who was their enemy? Valley, right? Valley's always like the bad guy, right? And all the movie was like the kids from the Valley, right? There was even that movie in the 80s. Remember Valley Girl? Yeah. I'd say it was like, what's up, guy? Like, oh my God, right? Like all that, right? And it made the stereotype of Valley people, right? But the San Fernando Valley is a special place, man. It's a cool place. It's where I went to college, right? And that's why it has a very special place in my heart. I will never forget it. As you guys know, I went to the Harvard of the West, Cal State Northridge. Okay, CSUN is home to the Matadors, right? A lot of cool cities like Northridge, right? Like Panorama City for the Salvies. You got Universal City, you got Studio City, you got Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks, which is fancy, right? You got Tahunga, you got Encino, right, which is rich folks. Just a unique place, man. The Balboa Park area. Balboa Park area. You also got a lot of down barrios out there, right? I remember I'll tell you a story. One time when we were out there, when I was in college, we were partying out, man. One time we were out doing something, and then we ran into some fool from Vineland. Vineland from North Hollywood, those fools were crazy, dog. I remember that I was at a gas station. I pulled up, dog, and I just got out right at the. I think those fools were on a mission, dog. Some fool got out the car, dog. We got out right at the same time, dog. We went to the door, bro. His face was looking dead at me, dog. He was looking at me with like the devil in his eyes, dog. You know, bro. I made it so that my pace outpaced him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the chance to hit me up, dog. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I did what I did. I put my turn back around real fucking fast. He was like, hey, fool, violent. I was like, I pretended I was like, going on. Like, let's get in the car, dog. Let's fucking go, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front like I was hard, dog. Not against some children, dog. You know what I'm saying? I had no guns, dog. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was waiting for me. If I would have acknowledged him, that would have blasted.
Yeah, it was
just
yeah.
But that's one of me. But got Pacoima out there, man. Pacoima's full of real fools, right?
Yeah.
Full of real fools, right? Yeah. San Fernando, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
San Fernando Valley is home of Richie Valens, right?
Yeah.
Lots of people come out of there, right?
You got Pyru out there too.
Yeah, you got Pyru. You got just like everybody. Yeah, I think every gang is out there, right? And it's changed over time.
Swan, you got Swan up there too.
Yeah, man. You got everything. You know what's always funny to me is the exit right there on Nordhoff when you go to CSUN. Because literally, if you go right or to the left, you see the two different worlds of the valley. When you get off right there on Nordhoff on the floor, if you go right, you're in Panorama City, Van Nuys. Like it's become super like the barrio.
Yeah.
It's become a super Hispanic ass like, ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to the left, you go to Northridge. You go to beautiful fucking beautiful houses, Granada Hill, like white boy, like the fucking Karate Kid, fucking right, like Cobra Kai, man.
Rashida. I'm gonna say that there's a strip, man. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of Salvi pockets in the valley.
There is, right?
A lot of Central American pockets.
Straight up.
A lot of Central American pockets. So yeah, we're flourishing out there. We're growing.
I'm crecido, dog. It's just like, and it's just like a vibe, dude. I can't explain it to people, man. The valley is just another universe. You know, once you come down that hill, dog, it's just like another time zone. You know. Different type of people, man. I love it. My time there was awesome. I have nothing but great memories of my days in the San Fernando Valley and at Cal State Northridge. You know, as underrated, that's why I tell people. You know what? The one thing they do fuck up though is food. You can't get no good Mexican food. For some reason, I don't know why. Like it's just something is lost over the hill. It doesn't have the same taste as LA Mexican. You know, there might be a spot or two, but it's just not consistent. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll go away. You know, that's also where a lot of Hollywood is, right? Another big part of the valley is the pornography industry. Right, that's also been affected. I've heard a lot of them have moved away, but it was a big part of the economy. It's not pornography, the pornography industry. What that means that it was more than just movies. It was filmmaking, editing, catering, right? Those are all giant industries. You know what I'm saying? Those are all money makers, right? Those are things that kind of make, you know, that. And I remember the days because the valley it could be like successful, but it could also be sad, right? It could be like. It's also like if you didn't make it. If you didn't make it in Hollywood and you ended up in the valley, it's like you lost. You know what I'm saying? Like in a way, right? If that was your goal, right? It's not like if you're like an immigrant and you end up in the valley, then it's a win. It's cool, right? Beautiful, right? But if you were like trying to make it in Hollywood and you end up in the valley, it's like you lost. You know,
city's right there.
Yeah, it's like you're like making it a Jace. You know what I'm saying? Just interesting, right? Just
growing up in LA, when we were coming up, like you looked at the valley like it was like
weenies.
Yeah, the weenie suckers. But then you go out there like
no, and like I told you that. One thing about LA, don't sleep though. There's real fools in the valley. Do not think that there's not no real fools in the valley.
And maybe they even went harder because of that.
Yeah,
they have
you know what I'm saying?
Prove.
Yeah, man. So you know, just like Orange County, you know, every little section has their own things, but the valley is nowhere to sleep on. Beautiful girls in the valley, full of beautiful women, right? Full of cool people, right? The weather's kind of hot, right? It's kind of unique, right? But you know, just an underrated place. The San Fernando Valley here in Los Angeles, stay Hollywood Tales. Drive by there when you have a chance. It's a nice square grid, like 8 streets going this way and 8 streets going that way. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of history, though. A lot of history.
A lot of history. Yeah.
Budweiser's out there. Frito-Lay's out there.
Frito-Lay's out there. I can't. There's a long list of people who come from the valley.
Oh man.
Can I help you? I mean, there's so many.
What's his name? What's the most recently? You brought up Richie Valens, but what's his name with the man? I can't forget.
Rapper singer?
No. He's an actor. He has a big child on this.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people know about him. Just a gem of Southern California, man. Don't let the TV shows fool you, man. The valley's a cool place. All right, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna get to know our guest today. We're gonna get to know Matty Boy here, my little bro, one of the many Garza bros that are here in the world, making the world a better place. All right. ¿Qué onda? Guatemalan right here, dog. Super chapito right here. All right, man. We're gonna get to know you, my little bro. See if you're a cool cat. First thing I want to tell you, little bros, once again, I appreciate you coming up here with your alpha beard. All right? Look at this. It's pathetic, dog. It's pathetic, dog.
You got it. You gotta let it grow. Don't get me wrong. I shaved when the pandemic came, and then once you grow it, it doesn't look good, but then you just gotta let it grow. You gotta go through it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Make it fluffy.
Analogy for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could see it. It's moist. It's fluffy. It's feathered. It's just amazing. All right, big dog. Did we land on the moon?
I'm gonna say yes, and I know you have your opinion, but I want to say yes. You know, I want to believe that United States is a great country. They had the brain, they had all the knowledge and all the technology to make it happen. I feel like if I found out that they didn't go to the moon, I think I'll be so disappointed, and I couldn't believe
it'd be like everything is fake.
Right? Yes. It's just it was a great accomplishment, you know. So
right. No, I mean, see, the thing is that I think I'm gonna conclusion with it. I think that we have gone to the moon. But I don't think we went to the moon that time.
At that time.
Okay.
Not in that.
You know what I'm saying? The one that we all known as the first moon mission. I seriously
might have faked that one.
You know what I'm saying? But I do think that we have made it there since. Right? That's kind of where I stand. Okay, man. But we're not talking about moon. Okay. Matty Boy, what would you tell a 19-year-old Matthew?
That everything's gonna be all right.
You
know, right, and then don't be afraid of taking risks.
All right, time, dog. What is your favorite Latino dish that is not Guatemalan food?
I want to say the Peruvian food. Lomo saltado.
Saltado, man.
That's my favorite.
I like the sauce, dog. That little sauce kills it.
I haven't had it in a minute, actually.
I'm gonna go get it.
Pollo Inca in the house, shout out.
Lomo saltado, I think, was like the first dish that, you know, from another place that I really enjoyed. It was like I found it on my own.
Nice, you didn't discover it.
I was like, it was my discovery.
Oh, that's sick. That means something. No, that means something.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah, nice.
Shout out to all my Peruvians.
Straight up. LA Galaxy or LAFC?
Galaxy, Pescadito
Ruiz. Yeah, Pescadito. That's right, boy. Most Central American girl, we said, I'm going to be Galaxy, man. We just think that way. Boy, Galaxy all day. LAFC. All right. Have you ever been in a fight?
Yeah, I've been in a fight.
In a few fights.
In a few. I'm not proud of it.
No, my brother, he sees the power matters right here, but don't mess with my boy, Baggy Boy, dog. He'll get you in a 3-second choke. Get you with a pretzel, dog. Don't be messing with baby bro right here. All right, big dog. What lessons have you taken from our father's life and applied to yourself?
Family, stick with family. I know, you know, my dad was really big in keeping us close, unity, you know, respect your family, respect your mother, you know.
100%.
That's the best advice. You know, I do see that he has a few regrets, but he does want you to not follow his footstep on the wrong thing. Like, true. Learn from me how the outcome was when I did that wrong. Don't do it, you know? Yeah. So I think that's the biggest advice is family, you know, and always leave something for your kids, you know?
Nice. I would agree with you, man. Yeah. My dad, he's somebody that, he's made a lot of mistakes, but he's has the decency to tell you, hey, well, these were mistakes. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Not like other people will be like, I did what I did. No, he wanted to tell you, like, nah, do it like this. You know? So that is to be appreciated. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Man. Can you name 5 Latino intellectuals?
5 Latino intellectuals. I'm kind of blank right there.
Why is that? Does that make you mad?
It makes me mad. It makes me mad. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think about race, to be honest. You know, like you know I just don't think about it. You know, maybe the people that are influenced me more are not from my race. You know?
That happens. Big time.
Like for example,
does that make you feel less than?
No, like I'll tell you one that you know I always listen to him every day. It's Denzel Washington. You know, when he speaks about God. You know.
Oh wow.
TD Jakes too. He's a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I don't see race. I just want to hear what they have to say. Like you know, if we have to start somewhere where it's not about race. It's just like what impact they have in your life.
Values,
you know. Right. So yeah, I can't name you 5 Latinos, but I can name you people that have been but the thing is, like, I don't look at race.
But you're not focusing, And if they happen to be Latino, cool, but it's not what you're,
it's not you know, it's not, and it's not like I'm not looking for Latino. I mean, it's someone who impacts me, you know? Like, I can tell you my dad, you know?
Shout out to the dad.
My mom.
And you have a unique perspective, because like Matthew was someone that he was born in America, but you went to school in Guatemala, right? You really had like high school and all that.
My life.
So you see it, you see, like that's what I asked you, like where are you from? When you speak, like, where are you from? What do you say?
I say Guatemala. That's where I became a man. You know?
Got you. So so people, you don't say down, you say Guatemala, right? That's where you define yourself. That's
Guatemala. I was born here, but I grew up over there.
So you have a unique perspective in that people are like, you're like the person that people are always trying to like the liberals are always trying to be like, I speak for them, like the immigrant person, right? Yeah. But you don't seem to have the opinions that they have. Right?
No, I don't.
Like, how do you see American education and American victimhood?
Honestly, the education, I mean, and I don't mean to talk down or anything. That's not my intention, but I'll keep it real. Like, I feel like, you know, I went to a private school in Guatemala, you know, in a city where we had, you know, barely electricity, but we were learning computers. We're learning Windows 95. You know?
Advanced.
It was advanced. Well,
advanced math too, eventually.
Yeah, and I seeing where my kids are at with education, it's kind of like, really, that's what they're going through. Like, I remember, you know, over there in Guatemala, multiplication, you start at 2nd grade.
Right, but
not here.
Like 6th
grade.
Grade,
like, I remember I came to school
3rd grade
for a summer in Guatemala. This was like 97. And we were going over math that I already did in 3rd grade.
That's
and I
crazy.
think I was going on 5th grade here in the States. So for me, it's really different. You know, it was eye opener, and you know that's why I kind of didn't continue school here, because I feel like I had to do it all over again just because my diploma was from another country.
No, but the thing is, like, no, what's actually here is that you have to play the game, and you still make it good, but it's also like we're behind and shit. They don't even teach you stuff that's relevant.
Yeah.
But you gotta fucking go through it. It's like this big hustle.
Yeah, it's like credit. Like honestly, when I started going to college, it's like you need to have these credits, then general education. I'm like,
why?
What's
Why can't
going
I
on? Like I want to be a computer science.
Why can't I just go
I
study
want to
this?
go through for computer science.
You know,
can you just give me the path and how to get there? Oh no, you have to do this English 101, and then like, you know, and it's
kind of ridiculous. You know what? Can you answer a question? I always say I have this theory. I always have this theory that I feel like Hispanics from here, they want to pretend that we're not half European and embrace their indigenous side, but Hispanics from over there embrace their European side more and pretend that they're not indigenous. Is that true or false or somewhere in between?
No, I'll be honest. I never encountered that. Like I have a good friend, Pedro Jose.
right.
Alejandro. Alejandro, shout out to Alejandro La Fuente.
Right.
But you know, it was you know, his dad was Spanish, and his mom was from Guatemala. So you do encounter a lot of families with Spanish. Yeah, the Spanish.
Right. And then but they won't fully embrace it. Like that,
oh yeah,
it's like a positive.
The way I like, for example, yeah, like in Rio we had a place called I want to say it's Club Española. I forgot right now, but it was somewhere where we used to play soccer, and it was like a big
country club.
Yeah, that was a country club, like for Spanish people, right? We used to play soccer over there, but yeah, they do embrace it in sports. I felt like a lot more, you know, like Barcelona, Real Madrid. You know, even though right here is like, you know, everyone watches soccer, but over there you kind of sense the Spanish over there, and then you know they had money too. You know, but you never heard about it, to be honest. It was more because education was about education.
Yeah, it was about acting educated, not flossing money.
Yes.
It was about like having this civility and management. Like that. No, you know what's funny? Like I have nothing but great memories of Guatemala, dude. And then, like the way the society was, there were certain things that were way cooler than they do here. Like even at home, like they would have country clubs, but they would have places where you can go to the pool, and they have people who just pay and get food. I've always thought that LA is so weird. In LA, we don't have a pool culture. Like you can't just go. There's not a place. There should be like Chuck E. Cheese of pools, or like maybe a different level. Like it should be like, there should be like where you should go and get pool parties. Hotels should be like you should go and you can.
There's some hotels where you can do that.
But it's very fancy. It's not a very like everybody does it. It's not like it's very like high class.
YMCA.
But in what they was though, because you have all these like levels of country clubs you could rent it for the day, get a cabin.
And you know, people over there, you know, they're really grateful. Like a pool, it's not like your fancy pool; it's just a pool, you know. And they make their imagination just go, and they're really appreciative that they have somewhere, like to go to a pool.
Yep.
You know,
I have a good time, man.
Yeah,
it was dope, man. Okay, and we got a couple more questions for you, Big Dog. I know that you've recently become a man of God.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you took those steps, how you got there?
I think it's I was going through a rough time in my life. You know, the thing is, I was going through a rough time in my life when I had everything.
Okay.
You know, I had a great career. I have a great career, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk as the past, right?
Right.
I had a great career.
Right.
I had my family, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, healthy kids.
Amen. You do.
And I was just exhausted. I think, you know, trying to control everything. And I couldn't find an outlet. There was a point where I stopped believing in God because I just felt so like it was, my mind was so cloudy. Like I couldn't find happiness, you know? And then my wife, you know, shout out to Tiffany. She took me to church. She pushed me to church. And then I go to the sanctuary right there in Costa Mesa. It's a drive for us, but it's worth it, man. Where I felt like the pastor just talked to me. Like that's how I felt. He preached, and like he talked to me.
That's what it's at.
And I remember it was about being available, you know. So it was being available, you know. Stop being selfish. You have everything. Be available for your family. Be available for your friends. Remember how you got here. You were humble. You grind. You worked hard, and just be available. You know, just those simple things. And then I started going more into it. I start falling in love, you know, with God, and then how just God does everything for a reason. You know, there's gonna be a time where there's gonna be a time in your life where you're gonna humble yourself and you're gonna feel like you have no way out. But all I can tell you is look for God, because that's gonna be, walk with Him, because He's gonna be there. You're gonna be surprised.
I feel that this. I agree with you, big. Thank you for sharing your story, man. I feel like it's like you said, man. I feel that that's even right now. I have kids, man. I know that the way that for some reason American, it's all predictable. Right? We're all supposed to grow up. You hate our parents and you rebel and you go to college and you're supposed to do all these. It's like you're supposed to, but you're not really supposed to. You don't have to, right? You don't have to follow the pack. Everybody does the same thing, right? But usually, like, if the typical American person should go through a period of you should grow up, if you have kids, you need to give them your propaganda now, okay? Because the world will, if you don't fill them with propaganda, somebody else will, okay? So you need to teach your values, your religions, right? Because naturally, also, one day they're going to question them. They're going to go up. If things go right, they should have a time where maybe they don't follow exactly everything you said. They might try other things, right? But eventually, you should all circle back. Right? If you don't eventually circle back, you're a giant child or a giant loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, you realize that those, we all want to rebel and do our own life and have your 20s and all that, right? But like the saying goes, man, if you're not revolutionary at 20, you have no heart. But if you're still a revolutionary at 40, you have no brain. Right? The same thing with religion. I think if you have not found God, right, or something higher than you by a certain age or having kids and all that, you're kind of hopeless. You know what I'm saying? And it's important. Like, we can go away from it, but I think eventually we're all kind of drawn back to the truth. I'm sorry to make this the preaching hour, right? I'm not sorry, but but
it's okay. The thing is, you kind of want to let them know that God's there for them, because they're gonna try to find happiness somewhere else where it's gonna just go deeper into their hole, And unfortunately, we're living in a world where, like, you can't talk about God anymore.
Which is so ridiculous now. So that's what we're gonna talk about God even more. All right, man. So we're gonna wrap that up. All right, baby boy, you survived. Did I pass the test? You passed the test. Okay. You can go back to this. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up. The last 5 minutes. We're gonna bring up a couple of stuff that we talked about earlier. Okay, we're gonna bring it back around, and actually a new thing that I know that Hank was gonna tell us about. It kind of connects with his experience with the. We're talking about Total Recall and the Pineal Gland, is the VR gun.
Yeah, VR gun, man.
Tell me about that, man. You said
I experienced that, man. It's a weird feeling. Definitely, for gaming and everything, and I get it. What it's made for. The experience itself is, it's fun and everything, but it can also be a very addictive thing. It's almost like you're in a dreamy state, and we're talking about the pineal gland, and it almost feels like I've been here before, when you're in that dreamy state, which kind of made me think, could we advance with technology so much that could we, well, let's just say, with these goggles, could we enter other dimensions? I don't know. Is that possible?
But they're opening you to those ideas, or
opening or desensitizing me to where if something like an experience like that does happen, I wouldn't freak out.
What scares me about it is like, remember that you sent me that when they had that awesome meme with it looked like Joe Biden and Trump were in the same place.
Yeah.
Like, pretty soon, dog, how are we gonna know what reality is, dog? Like, those are so good. It looks like they were there. Right. And if those things we put on, like, eventually, if you're plugged in and then you plug out, eventually, if they get so good, you won't even know what reality is.
Right. That's kind of where I was going with it.
That's what movie like that tripped me out, like Total Recall. It's like everything is like a dream state. You have Ready Player One, right? Ready Player One made it seem kind of positive. It was a very cool movie, right? But just those things trip me out, man. About like I feel like they're always conditioning you. Like those things,
that's right.
They make it cool, right? But they make it cool because that's how they want to control you. Oh, we get one, it's so cool, right?
And then then not only and everything else it opens up to, right?
Yeah. Pretty soon, we're gonna give me people gonna put it on to go to the DMV. They're like, I'm gonna go to DMV, right? It's just so crazy to me.
And you know what? It's a thing where you're on your own, which adds to it's like you're not
even really connected.
You're not engaging with anyone.
With actual people.
Yeah. Like you can just stay on VR. You can get Postmates to get fed.
I wonder if eventually, like, one thing that I always remember in the movie The Matrix, this is one of the stay with me my whole life, that freaking scene when he cuts up the steak, he goes, when that fucking, the trader, he's like, I know that this steak is not real, right? And he cuts it up and it's all red, it's like fucking perfectly cooked, medium rare. He's like, but ignorance is bliss. And he fucking eats it, dog. He's done. I would have been like, hell yeah, I would have been back in the Matrix too, shit, dog. He's like, I want to be an actor, maybe somebody important and shit, but like, will that? Do we want that? What if like that's the future? The future is like, really, we're all gonna eat bugs, but you put your virtual reality on and then it's a steak. You're like, oh, I'm eating fries, but we're all eating fucking bugs. What is that? That's some wild shit. Where are we going with it? Yeah, man. Last 2 minutes, man. You want to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month?
You know what? I got to take on that. So you kind of touched on it right now, right? Where sometimes if you might identify with your Spaniard, like there is a Spaniard side to us,
right?
You know, and so immediately when you say Hispanic, you immediately, or what they project on you is that you identify with your indigenous side. But what about if I don't want to identify with my indigenous side? Right. What about if I want to identify with Christopher Columbus?
Yeah, people wouldn't like that.
They would not like that.
They'd be like, what? Hispanic Heritage Month been a thing for a while?
No.
Because over there in Guatemala we don't have it.
And then why?
For us, the biggest thing is Independence Day.
Right, Independence Day, right? Yeah. And then why even bring that up? Again, it's just that labeling. Why separate it? Because
there is a way to say. I mean, we should
celebrate. You can celebrate it. I get it. But I don't think that we're at that.
Is that necessary? No, the thing is that even the word is Hispanic, right, which alludes to the Spaniard part, right? There's a bunch of people who like, I'm not Hispanic, I'm Latino. It becomes this giant argument, right? And then I'm Panamanian, and I'm this and that.
Well, I'm Mayan. I'm Aztec.
Yeah, right.
Like where I'm Petit. I'm Inca.
Exactly.
Where does it stop?
Yeah, and then you know what? We're gonna go a little bit over, but it's good because let's get juicy right now, because see that's where. And then recently they've been having this conversation about.
We're going off the radio.
Yeah, we're going off radio. We'll see you guys later. We love you guys. If you're on YouTube, hang up. We're gonna get into this good little conversation real quick at the end, man. I brought some controversial stuff up today. It goes back to kind of like okay, we're talking about Aztecs. Like we always want to say, look, the Europeans came and conquered us. Nah, we were conquering each other before that.
Right.
You ask the Beatles about us Aztecs, they hated them.
Yeah.
Right. The Aztecs were the people who came and fucking enslaved them.
Right.
Like the people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like they had beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, like, we always want to be like, oh, like imagine if like that goes back to the reparations. You guys see what happened? Some lady from Europe, she fucking let Don Lemon have it. And she had made a lot of points. Thomas Salmon, these are old ideas, but you're barely hearing them about slavery, right? About like, he was like, well, if you're gonna do reparations, yeah, Europeans, but like also the people from Africa who sold the slaves. Like, if we're gonna do it, let's go all the way because there was a market. Somebody created the market. Right? But when I go, let me go back to my race because people get mad when you talk about other people's races. But okay, let's say if we did that, people were like, oh, one day the Spaniards, nah, like the fucking Aztecs, we were all battling between ourselves. Yeah. Like, and also I feel like it gives me more strength. Not that they just came and dominated me. No, we battled and we saw some intermixed and we're still here. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the simple narrative of these people came and they squashed us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I know like other tribes would conquer each other, right? But it's kind of like, I remember I heard someone, I forgot right now his name, but it's like we need to give people their lands back, right? I know I'm going a little bit controversial here, but it's kind of like, who are we going to give them to? Right. You know, because we don't know who had the land first.
Right.
Everything was conquered, Everything was like,
how far back do you go on the record? If you're like, well, this happened in 1492, okay, well then let's go back to 892. Yeah. Right? And these people took this from there.
Yeah. It's just human. It's just that's just how we are. Human is just, we want to what is it? Conquer.
And then we also want to blame though. We also want to forget history, right? We also want to make like easy answers, like all these people did this to us. No, man. Or sometimes, sometimes you competed and you lost, right? The people, you know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't. I don't like going back in the history and celebrating all the losers.
Yeah, what? Right now you said lost, and something that when I came to the States was something really big, and I think it's important. And I know you're gonna be against me, C's, but I think there's nothing wrong with a game that's tied. Right? Because maybe the both teams sucked or they did great. Like there's been some great, especially in soccer, right? There's been some great games where there it just ends at a tie. And that's okay sometimes. Here in this country, like someone has to win.
No, you're right. No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
on that one. No, because then sometimes you end up doing because then the overtime is not the real game.
Yeah.
Overtime or like penalties. Penalties doesn't really mean that you're a better team than them. You just got lucky.
Yeah. But the penalties, right? It's kind of like it's a championship, so it's kind of like we need or it's playoffs. You need a winner.
No, So exactly, playoffs you have to have a winner, right? But there is a place for ties.
Yeah.
Or like fighting. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Or because if some fools are tied after 12 rounds, you're not gonna make them fight 14 just to kill each other. But it's not a healthy shit, right? All right, man. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We went a little bit over the time, but it's all good. Matthew, thank you for being here, little bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hank, you're my dog. Outstanding. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. Czaleo Knows It All.